Hi, I'm Adriana, and I volunteered at Crisis Text Line. It's an anonymous text line for people who are feeling they're in a crisis situation and don't know where to turn to for support. I volunteered here because it was very close to where I would like to be during my social work career. I work for a transition to independence program for young adults with developmental disabilities such as autism, and majority of them have comorbid, co-occurring mental health issues as well. So it's not uncommon for me to sit with an individual through a crisis state and help them to identify coping strategies and think of next steps. I spoke with individuals who felt they were in crisis situations. I did about 30 hours of training to prepare for the role, where you learn how to build rapport, validate feelings, assess for suicide, and how to engage the individual to name coping strategies and then next steps for their evening or day. The purpose of the text line is to get somebody from a hot moment to a cool one. And since it is confidential, I cannot speak to the situations that I help individuals through, but I have spoken to a total of 11 individuals in crisis. I learned a lot about my abilities to help someone in crisis. I've learned that I'm a fixer, and that was difficult for me at first. As soon as someone texts in, I immediately wanted to just help them fix the situation. But it's a step-by-step process that you have to go to. So the first one is to build rapport and to validate, and then let them kind of talk as they need to let the things come out. Um, so that was a struggle for me, and then my next struggle was transitioning then from exploring, where you let the texter tell their issues and validate, into helping to identify the coping strategies. It's hard to find that, especially with texting, the balance of, okay, now that you've kind of told me all of the issues, how do we get you into the next steps without feeling like you're like cutting the person off. So that was also a struggle that I had that I'm working through currently. So I want to continue to work with individuals who have intellectual developmental disabilities in my future as a social worker. I'm currently the assistant director of a transition to independence program for young adults with intellectual developmental disabilities. And I hope receiving my degree will allow me to step into the program as program director one day.